Hello all, welcome to Bapuji NEET and JEE Academy. Myself Mahesh. Okay, so in the last session we were discussing about the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants. Okay, in that class we were discussing about that is the parts of the flower as well as the TS of young anther. We know that TS of young anther which is protected by the how many wall layers? 4 wall layers. What are those? Outermost epidermis, and just beneath the epidermis endothecium, just beneath the endothecium the middle wall layer, and innermost layer of the anther wall. Innermost layer of the anther wall, it is called as tapetum. Okay, we know that tapetum which gives nourishment to the developing pollen grains, right? And tapetal cells which containing the dense amount of cytoplasm, and it is a multinucleated cell because the karyokinesis it is not followed by the cytokinesis. And very most important tissues in the anther, that is called as a homogeneous mass of the cell, that is called as a sporogenous tissue. Okay, homogeneous mass of the cell which is responsible for production of pollen grain, that is called as what? Sporogenous tissue, right? So that sporogenous, the cells which are present in the sporogenous tissue. Okay, so consider this is the TS of young anther. So this is the TS of young anther. We know that the TS of young anther, TS of young anther. So it is a tetragonal in nature because it is consisting of 4 corner regions, and we know that bilobed dithecous anther consisting of 2 lobes and 2 that is the 2 chamber, that is called as bilobed and dithecous anther containing 4 microsporangia. Hence that anther it is called as a tetrasporangiate anther. Tetrasporangiate anther. In each corner region there is 1 microsporangia. So here it is another 1 microsporangia, and here it is another 1 microsporangia, and this is another 1 microsporangia. Bilobed dithecous anther containing the 4 microsporangia, that is called as tetrasporangiate anther. And we know that sporogenous tissues which are present, sporogenous tissue which is present in the inside the tapetum, okay, that is inner wall of the anther wall. So that is called as a sporogenous tissue. That homogeneous mass of the cells present in the sporogenous tissues, they become mature. Okay, so when they are differentiating into the mature cell, that sporogenous tissues are differentiating into the one of the important type of the cell. The name of the type of the cells, it is called as what? PMC. PMC, that is called as a pollen mother cell. Okay, so ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೊರೆಂಜಿಯಾ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಹೋಮೋಜಿನಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಪೋರೋಜಿನಸ್ ಟಿಶ್ಯೂ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಶಿಯೇಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಪೋಲನ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್. PMC, that is called as pollen mother cell, it is also called as microspore mother cell because microspore it is commonly called as pollen grains, right? So that pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell, it is diploid in nature. It is which containing the 2 sets of chromosome. It is a diploid mother cell, right? So because which containing the 2 sets of the chromosome, pollen mother cell and microspore mother cell, it is diploid in nature. That pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell which undergo the meiosis, so pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell which undergo mitosis or meiosis. Meiosis, we know that meiosis it is called as reductional cell division. Meiosis is called as reductional cell division. Reductional cell division because chromosome number is get reduced to half. The diploid pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell which undergo the meiosis to produces 4 haploid microspores. To produces how many haploid microspores? 4 haploid microspores. Okay, this is one, So this is one haploid microspore, and this is another one haploid microspore. This is another one haploid microspore. Okay, and this is another one haploid microspore. Pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell which undergo meiosis. Meiosis means it is a reductional cell division to produces how many haploid microspore, sorry, how many haploid microspore? 4 haploid microspore. They are haploid in nature. All cells are haploid in nature. It is haploid, it is haploid, 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 because reductional cell division is takes place. Diploid microspore mother cell which undergo meiosis. Meiosis means reductional cell division. Chromosome number is get reduced to half to produces the haploid pollen grains or haploid microspores. To produces the haploid pollen grains, haploid pollen grains or haploid pollen grains or pollen grain, and another name of the pollen grain, that is the microspore. Microspore. Okay, and that phenomenon it is called as what? The microsporogenesis. Okay, what is genesis? Genesis means developmentine formation of the haploid microspore from diploid microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell through meiotic cell division or through meiosis cell division or through reductional cell division. That phenomenon it is called as the microsporogenesis. Okay, so we know that microsporogenesis means developmentine formation of microspore from microspore mother cell, diploid microspore mother cell through the meiosis, that is called as microsporogenesis. But remember one thing, whatever the haploid pollen grains or microspores, that is 4 haploid pollen grains or 4 haploid microspores are produced during the microsporogenesis. All 4 microspores or pollen grains, they are attached together. Okay, so that 4 microspores they are held together. Okay, that means all 4 pollen grains, they are attached together to form an pollen tetrad. Tetrad means 4, right? Tetra means 4. That pollen mother cell which undergo meiosis cell division to produces the 4 haploid pollen grains or microspore, and all the 4 pollen grains or microspores, they attached together. Okay, and to form one pollen tetrad. To form how many pollen tetrad? One pollen tetrad. To form an one pollen tetrad. Okay, so one pollen tetrad having how many pollen grains? 4 pollen grains or 4 haploid microspores, right? So that means if the one pollen mother cell which undergo the meiosis to produces the how many pollen tetrad? One pollen tetrad. In that one pollen tetrad which containing 4 pollen grains. Okay, so why the all 4 pollen grains they are attached together to form an pollen tetrad? Because one of the important polysaccharide which is present between the pollen grains, the name of the polysaccharide which is present between the pollen grain, so kanta idea? So that is the polysaccharide which held the adjacent pollen grains. Okay, so that is to form the pollen tetrad. That polysaccharide which is responsible for the pollen tetrad, the name of the polysaccharide it is called as what? Callose polysaccharide, right? So that is called as what? Callose. Callose, it is a polysaccharide, so which is responsible for the formation of pollen tetrad. Okay, so you know that tapetum, the tapetal cell which is secreting callase enzyme. Tapetal cells, okay, so which is secreting one of the important enzyme. The name of the enzyme it is called as callase enzyme. That callase enzyme which dissolving the callose polysaccharide. callase enzyme which dissolving the callose polysaccharide. When it dissolve the callose polysaccharide or 4 pollen grains, they are separating from each other. Okay, until they are not separating each other, right? So that means one pollen mother cell which produces the one pollen tetrade containing the 4 pollen grains, haploid pollen grains or 4 haploid microspores, because of the polysaccharide called as what? Callose. So what is the function? Why it is present between the pollen grain? Because callose, it is one of the polysaccharide which are protecting the pollen grains from the microbial attack. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಲೋಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರನಂಥ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಬಿಯಲ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, so that stable one of the most stable polysaccharide which is present between the pollen grain, that is called as what? Callose. Callose, it is digested by the enzyme called as callase enzyme which is secreted by the cells called as what? Tapetal cells or tapetum cells, right? So that phenomenon it is called as what? Microsporogenesis. Okay, yes. So let us consider the Canna plant. Canna plant, it is called as monandrous stamen plant. Okay, because that flower having only one fertile stamen. Only one fertile stamen is present in the Canna plant. Okay, so we know the structure of the stamen. Long, slender stalk of the stamen, that is called as what? Filament. In the terminal portion of the filament, there is an bilobed dithecous anther is present. Okay, in the Canna plant only one stamen is present in the flower, right? So consider that anther containing how many microsporangia? 4 microsporangia, which having 4 microsporangia. Microsporangia, it is a plural form. Microsporangium is a singular form, right? So each microsporangia or sporangium containing 10 microspore mother cell. Okay, so ಒಂದು ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೊರಾಂಜಿಯಂ ಒಳಗಡೆ 10 ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ that 10 ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಮದರ್ ಸೆಲ್ which undergo the meiotic cell division which produces how many pollen tetrad? That is the 10 pollen tetrad. That one microspore mother cell which produces the 1 pollen tetrad, like that 10 pollen mother cell or microspore mother cell which undergo the meiotic cell division, meiosis or reductional cell division to produces how many pollen tetrad? So that is the 10 pollen tetrad. We know that each pollen tetrad having how many pollen grains? 4 pollen grains into 4, that is the 40 microspores or 40 pollen grains are produced by the each sporangia. If the 10 microspore mother cell are present in the each microsporangia, so that each microspore mother cell which produces the each microspore mother cell produces the 1 pollen tetrad, 10 microspore mother cell produces the 10 pollen tetrad. Okay, 1 pollen tetrad having the 4 pollen grains or 4 microspores, like that each microsporangia which produces the 40 microspores or 40 pollen grains, right? So that anther containing the 4 microsporangia, so each microsporangia produces the each microsporangium which produces 40 microspores or 40 pollen grains, and like that 4 microsporangia are present in the bilobed dithecous anther, and only one anther present in the stamen, only one stamen which is present in the flower of the Canna plant, right? So that is into 4, that is equal to 160 microspores are produced by the stamen that is the one stamen of the Canna plant, right? So that calculation type of the question, they are very most important for your NEET medical entrance examination, right? So that is the each stamen which is consisting of the anther it is consisting of 4 microsporangia, right? So that 4 microsporangia, they are containing the microspore mother cell which undergo the meiosis to produces the pollen tetrad, each pollen tetrad which produces the 4 microspores, right? So yes, so let us discuss about what is microspore. What is the another name for microspore, and it is also called as male gametophyte, the structure of the pollen grain, right? Yes, the structure of the pollen grain. Let us discuss about the structure of pollen grain. Okay. So usually microspore is haploid in nature or diploid in nature? They are haploid in nature. Okay, what is another name for microspore? Microspore, they are also called as pollen grains. They are commonly called as pollen grains. More technically, that pollen grains are called as male gametophyte. They are called as male gametophyte or female gametophyte. Male gametophyte. Male gametophyte. Okay, microspore andru onde, microspore andru onde, pollen grain andru onde, male gametophyte andru onde, right? So that microspore, pollen grain and male gametophyte are haploid in nature or diploid in nature? Haploid in nature, because they are the product of meiosis. Okay, and remember one thing, that pollen grain, they are usually spherical in shape. Okay, pollen grains or microspore or male gametophyte are usually spherical in shape. They are usually spherical in shape. Okay, so we know that there are the different shape of the pollen grains which is produced by the different species, but most of the species, and they are NCERT given that the most commonly type of the shape of the pollen grain, that is the spherical shape. Okay, that is the size of the pollen grains, that is measured about 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter. That is the 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter. Micrometer in diameter or microns, right? So the diameter of the pollen grain, that is the 25 to 50 microns or micrometer in diameter, and the most of the species produces the spherical shaped pollen grains. Okay, and remember one thing, that pollen grain is covered by the layer, the boundary of the cell. Pollen grain, it is one of the haploid cell, and the boundary of the pollen grain, that is called as what? Plasma membrane. The boundary of the pollen grain which is covered, that is called as what? Plasma membrane. This is the plasma membrane, right? So this is the plasma membrane. Okay, so that plasma membrane which is covered by the again 2 external layers. Okay, so the name of the layers, that is called as exine, outer exine and inner intine layers. Okay, yes, so outer exine layer, okay, outermost layer, it is called as exine layer. This is called as what? Outer exine. This is the outer layer. Okay, and inner layer, that is called as what? Intine, continuous layer. Inner continuous layer, it is called as what? Intine layer. Inner continuous layer, that inner continuous layer, it is called as what? Intine layer, right? So the pollen grain is covered by the plasma membrane. Again, plasma membrane is covered by the 2 layers, that is the inner intine layer So inner continuous layer it is called as a intine, it is a inner layer, and outer hard outer discontinuous layer it is called as a exine layer, right? So let us discuss one by one. What is exine and what is intine? Exine, it is the outermost discontinuous layer, okay, and that exine, it is a not continuous, it is a discontinuous. Exine, it is outermost layer of the pollen grain, and it is very hard in nature, okay, because due to the deposition of one of the most resistant organic material, that is called as a sporopollenin, okay. So that is called as a sporopollenin. Okay, exine is very hard in nature. Exine, it is outermost discontinuous layer, and it is made up of the sporopollenin. Because of the sporopollenin, the pollen grain, there is no enzyme which degrading the sporopollenin, okay, and it is withstand of, or it is resistance to the strong acids and strong bases also, right? So with the help of the exine, that means with the help of the sporopollenin, the pollen grain, it is preserved as a fossil. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ಎದರ್ಲಿಂದ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಪೋರೋಪೊಲಿನಿನ್. ಯಾವುದೇ ಎಂಜೈಮ್ ಕೂಡ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಪೊಲಿನಿನ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಓಕೆ. ಯಾವುದು ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೋ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನೂ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸನ್ನು ಫಾಸಿಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ದ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಫಾಸಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರೆಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಪೊಲಿನಿನ್ ಇನ್ ದ exine region or intine region, exine region, okay. And remember one thing, that sporopollenin, the sporopollenin which is produced by the Ubish bodies, which is secreted by the tapetal cell which is secreting the Ubish bodies, that Ubish bodies which produces the sporopollenin on the surface of the pollen grain in the exine region to form the sporopollenin, right? Such that sporopollenin, it is very hard in nature and it is resistant to the strong acids and strong bases, okay. And you know that the sum of the here and there in exine region, exine, it is a discontinuous layer, because that in exine there is a that means sporopollenin is absent. Some regions of the exine, the sporopollenin is absent, and that region it is called as what? So that region ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, right? So this is the sporopollenin. Exine region ಒಳಗಡೆ sporopollenin ಐತಿ, ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ sporopollenin ಇಲ್ಲ, okay. So the in exine region the sporopollenin is absent, and that regions are called as what? Germ pore. That regions are called as what? Germ pore. Pore means hole where the sporopollenin is absent on the exine, that is called as germ pore. So what is the function of germ pore? Okay, what is the function of the germ pore? So you know that pollen tube, pollen grain which produces the pollen tube, that pollen tube, it is extended through the pore. That name of the pore, it is called as what? The germ pore, okay. And it is extended from the intine region. Intine region ಒಳಗಡೆ, intine, it is the innermost continuous layer, and that intine, it is made up of cellulose and pectin. Intine, it is made up of the cellulose and pectin. Cellulose and pectin. Together it is called as cellulopectin. Cellulopectin. Intine, it is the inner layer of the pollen grain, and it is made up of the cellulose and pectin, that is called as what? Cellulopectin, right? And it is a thin layer, it is not a thick layer, it is not a very hard layer, it is very soft and very thin layer, because it is made up of the cellulose and pectin, okay. And remember one thing, the pollen tube which is extended from the intine region through the germ pore, pollen tube, okay. So consider this is the pollen grain. So this is the pollen grain, this is the intine region of the pollen grain, and this is the external layer, that is called as what? Okay, in exine region where sporopollenin is absent, that is called as what? Germ pore. So they are the regions of germ pore. So this is the germ pore, and this is the germ pore, this is the germ pore, and this is the germ pore. Okay, so the pollen tube, it is extended, it is arising from the intine region. So it is arising from the intine region through the germ pore. Pollen tube ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಇಂದ ಬರಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟೈನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಪೊಲ್ಲೆನ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಯಾವುದೈತಿ? ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ಐತಿ. ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಪೊಲಿನಿನ್, ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೀಜನ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಪೊಲಿನಿನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸೈನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಜರ್ಮ್ ಪೋರ್. ಆ ಒಂದು ಜರ್ಮ್ ಪೋರ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಇಂಟೈನ್ ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಪೊಲ್ಲೆನ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅ ಪೊಲ್ಲೆನ್ ಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟೈನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದ ಜರ್ಮ್ ಪೋರ್, right. So that is the layers which is covered by the pollen grains. Okay, there are two layers, that is called as exine and intine. Exine, which is a very hard layer, discontinuous layer, because it is made up of the most resistant organic material, that is called as sporopollenin. Hence the pollen grains, it is preserved as a fossil. And inner layer, that is called as continuous layer, that is the intine. Intine, it is made up of pectocellulose, that is the cellulose and pectin, that is called as pectocellulose or cellulopectin material, right. So that pollen tube, it is extension of the intine region, not from the exine region through the germ pore. Germ pore, it is a region of the exine where sporopollenin is absent, right. Yes, so this is about the layers of the pollen grain. Okay, so let us discuss about the chromosome number, which is that means the ploidy of the pollen grain. We know that pollen grains are haploid in nature. So remember another one thing, most of the angiospermic plant species, they shed their pollen grains, that is 60% of the 60% of the angiospermic plant species, they shed their pollen grains in two-celled stage. Okay, so that is the over 60% of pollen grains release their over 60% of the angiospermic plants, not pollen grains. Over 60% of angiospermic plants or angiospermic plant species, plant species which shed their pollen grains in two-celled stage. Okay, and remaining 40% of the plant species, okay, remaining 40% of the plant species which shed their pollen grains in the three-celled stage. Very most important question for your examination. Okay, so yes, so actually pollen grain, now it is consisting of only one cell. Soon after it get divided to form, that is unequal cell division is takes place to form one larger cell and another one it is the smaller cell. The larger cell, okay, the larger cell it is called as, so the unequal cell division is takes place, unequal cell division which resulting into the one larger cell and another one it is a smaller cell. The larger cell it is called as what? Vegetative cell. The larger cell it is called as a vegetative cell, and the smaller cell it is called as what? Generative cell. Smaller cell it is called as a generative cell. Okay, so let us discuss one by one, vegetative cell and generative cell. So vegetative cell, that vegetative cell which containing the reserve food, large number of reserve food material present in the vegetative cell, the large number of reserve food material which is present in the vegetative cell, and vegetative cell it is larger cell and which containing irregular shaped nucleus. The shape of the nucleus is irregular. The shape of the nucleus is irregular. Okay, So the larger cell, that is called as vegetative cell, which containing the abundant reserve food material and which containing the irregular shaped nucleus or spherical shaped nucleus, irregular shaped nucleus, which containing the irregular shaped nucleus, irregular shaped nucleus. Okay, in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell, the generative cell is floating. Okay, so the generative cell which floats on the cytoplasm of vegetative cell, such a smaller cell, that is called as a generative cell. And the generative cell, it also containing the generative cell, it is also containing the dense cytoplasm. The generative cell which also containing the dense cytoplasm. Okay, and the shape of the generative cell is a spindle shape. Okay, you know that the spindle shape which have the tapering ends. Okay, so that the shape of the generative cell, the shape of the generative cell is spindle shaped, and which also containing the spindle shaped nucleus, which also containing the spindle shaped nucleus. So that is the characteristic feature of the both vegetative cell and generative cell. Vegetative cell is the larger cell and generative cell is smaller cell. Vegetative cell which containing the abundant reserve food material, generative cell also containing the dense cytoplasm. Vegetative cell containing the irregular shaped nucleus, but generative cell which containing the spindle shaped nucleus, and the shape of the cell it is also spindle shape, and it is floats on the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell. Soon after, okay, the generative cell is undergo mitotic cell division to produce the two male gametes. Soon after that, generative cell which undergo again mitotic cell division to produce the two male gametes. The name of the male gametes, that is the sperm 1 male gamete and sperm 2 male gametes. Okay, and they are fertilized to form the zygote and triple fusion, that is the endosperm, primary endosperm nucleus, right? So this is about the structure of the pollen grain, right? So that is the size of the pollen grain, that is 25 to 50 micrometer in diameter. Pollen grain is covered by plasma membrane which is covered by the outermost axon and innermost intine, right? And it is consisting of two cells, that is called as vegetative cell and generative cell. And most of the angiospermic plant species, that is 60% of the angiospermic plant species which release their pollen grains in two-celled stage, and remaining 40% of the angiospermic plant species which release their pollen grains in the three-celled stage. Okay, so that means after a mitotic cell division in the generative cell, three cells are formed, 1, 2, 3, one vegetative cell and two male gametes, that is called as a three-celled stage. But most of the angiospermic plant, that is over 60% of the angiospermic plant which shed their pollen grains in the two-celled stage. One cell it is a vegetative cell and another one it is the generative cell, right? Yes. So let us discuss about the next one. Okay, so that is the viability of the pollen grain. So viability of pollen grain. What is viability of the pollen grain? So viability of pollen grain, it is the ability of pollen grain to produce its pollen tube. Okay, so after releasing of pollen grain, it reaches to the stigmatic surface, and when it is reaches to the stigmatic surface, the compatible pollen grain which produce its pollen tube, and that is called as what? Pollination. And after pollination, fertilization takes place, right? So remember one thing, the vegetative cell, if it is containing the dense amount of cytoplasm and the reserve food material, the viability of pollen grain is very long time. So when the pollen grains are released and they reaches to the stigmatic surface, before it loses the viability. Okay, pollen grains ತನ್ನ viability loss ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕುಂದ್ರಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಂಥರ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮಾ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಪಾಲಿನೇಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ viability ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಪ್ರಿವೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ. ಪ್ರಿವೇಲಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ, prevailing temperature and humidity means optimum temperature and humidity. The ability of pollen grain produce its pollen tube. pollen grain pollen tube produce ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿಗೆ pollen viability ಅವನ್ pollen tube produce ಮಾಡಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ optimum temperature ಮತ್ತು humidity ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Right? Say for example, the species, the cereals like the pollen grains, the cereals like rice and wheat plant. The viability of pollen grains of rice and wheat plant, that is 30 minutes after they releasing that releasing from the anther lintra release ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 30 minutes ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. 30 minutes ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಎಲ್ಲ ವೀಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ರೈಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ such as rice and wheat, pollen grains which lose their viability within 30 minutes. 30 minutes ಒಳಗಡೆನ ತನ್ನ viability ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ 30 minutes ಒಳಗಡೆನ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟಿಗ್ಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ viability of the pollen grain within 30 minutes, which lose their viability within 30 minutes. But in case of the species which comes under the families like Rosaceae and Leguminosae and Solanaceae, the pollen grains lose their viability for a months. That means ಎಷ್ಟೋ ತಿಂಗಳದ್ದು ನಾನು ಆದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ತನ್ನ pollen grains ತಮ್ಮ viabilityಯನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ the members of the Rosaceae, Leguminosae and Solanaceae which maintain their viability for a month, that is up to 2 to 3 months. Okay, and the pollen grains, they are also stored in the that means very low temperature in the liquid nitrogen medium, that is minus 196 degrees Celsius. That preservation or conservation of pollen grains in the very low temperature in a liquid nitrogen, that is minus 196 degrees Celsius in a liquid nitrogen, that conservation of the pollen grain, that conservation it is called as what? Cryopreservation. That preservation it is called as what? Cryopreservation. Cryopreservation. What is cryopreservation? The preservation of pollen grains in a minus 196 degrees Celsius, extremely low temperature in a liquid nitrogen medium, that is called as what? Liquid nitrogen, that is called as a cryopreservation. And remember another one thing, okay, that such stored pollen grains, they are used as a pollen banks. ಓಕೆ, ಇದನ್ನು ಪೋಲನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನೂ ಕೂಡ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಲೈಕ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಬ್ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸೀಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಥರನಾಗಿ ಪೋಲನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಕ್ರಿಯೋ ಪ್ರಿಸರ್ವೇಷನ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಪೋಲನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸೀಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಬ್ರೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್. Right? Pollen grains are rich in nutrients. Pollen grains which containing the most of the nutrients, and it has become very fashion now to take the pollen, that is to take the pollen tablets as a food supplements, right. So in many western countries, the large number of pollen products like pollen tablets and pollen syrups are available in the market. ಓಕೆ, ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಷನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಫುಡ್ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಪೋಲನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು, ರೈಟ್. ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪೋಲನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪೋಲನ್ ಸೈರಪ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪೋಲನ್ ಸೈರಪ್ಸ್ ತೊಗೊಳೋದ್ರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಏನಾಗತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿಚ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ದ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಥ್ಲೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರೇಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಸಸ್, which increases, that has been claimed to increases the performance in athletics and race horses, right. ಸೊ ರೇಸ್ ಹಾರ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಅಥ್ಲೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅವ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಪೋಲನ್ ಸೈರಪ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಪೋಲನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಸಿರಪ್ಸ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಎಸ್, ಮೆನಿ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್, they cause the allergy. Allergy means exaggerated immune response due to the certain antigen present in the environment, that is called as what? Allergy. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು pollen grains ಲಿಂತ್ರ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ many species of the pollen grains ಲಿಂತ್ರ ಏನು ಆಗುತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲರ್ಜಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. And it also causes the bronchial afflictions. okay, that is the bronchial problems, and it may leads to the some of the disorders like chronic respiratory disorders. ಇದರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಖಿನ್ನತೆಗೆ ಒಳಗಾಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಒಂದು ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್ಸ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಂಟ್ರ್ ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಮೇ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ದ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕ್ರೋನಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕ್ರೋನಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಡಿಸಾರ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅಸ್ತಮಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೋಂಕೈಟಿಸ್, right? And you know what, the one of the species in India, that is the Parthenium, the common name of the Parthenium, that is called as carrot grass. Pollen grains which are released from the Parthenium or carrot grass, they are usually causes the allergy. Okay, but it is a exotic species. It is introducing into the India. It is a not native in India. It is a not Indian species. Okay, it is a exotic species, but it is introducing into the India, right? So that it is introducing into the India through the imported wheat, right? But it is now ubiquitous, that means it is totally spread and which produces the large number of pollen grains and which causes the allergy, right? So that is the pollen grain, right? So in the next concept we were discussing about gynoecium part, that is the female reproductive structure. Thank you students.